always watching Amari Cooper and learning from him. How have you seen the other receivers improve their game since Amari joined?
Well, I think they have all improved with the idea that their experience crafting their craft on their own too. Amari certainly brings a guy that's been playing and a guy they all know who he is and watched him play and admired him. Now he's on our team. He brings that. He brings competition. Good within the team type of competition where everybody just wants to show that they're capable of having winning matchups and things like that too. So I think that's created some really good, chemistry with that group, to be honest with you.
You obviously look back at last year's game against these guys.
Oh yeah.
What was your
Want me to get that?
reactions? What was your reactions to seeing that again, having lived through it, obviously?
Yeah, I mean, it was not a good outing by us, but I think we felt like we learned some valuable lessons from some of that. But some of it's just really more motivation to be ready to play and be on our game. This go around. It's not easy playing the road in this league, and we didn't handle, some of the adverse things that happened to us last year with, we had some guys that weren't playing and things like that. So I think what you learn is you got to have the guys ready no matter what happens to react in a positive way and step up if, the next man up, whatever it is, has to be ready to go. And I think our guys are more mature now than we were a year ago. And we've added some youth to the team, but I think they're all fairly, they're focused guys. I think the preparation is getting to the point now where I think our guys know how to get ready to play games.
Did that game offensively knock you on your heels a little bit as a group and maybe eroded confidence a bit that took you a little bit of time to kind of work back and get back through that?
You could argue that yes to that question because we didn't play real well on a stretch starting with that game last year. We got back to some things we felt good about at the end of the year, but I think we when we started that game, we just come off one of our best games of the year, and then had probably one of our worst games of the year there. So again, you live and learn in this league. I think you learn more from games like that than you do the ones that you feel good about. So I think it was a very valuable experience, and I think our guys are using it as motivation to get ready for this one.
How much is there a learning tool about the start of that game that you've moved forward and say, we can't have slow starts the way we did in Atlanta?
Yeah, I mean, any time you have that, that's not a positive, but you also don't overreact to it. You don't want to. You got to at some point get it in gear. We didn't start fast last week either, and from that point, I felt like we played pretty well. So I think those are the things that you have to be able to do. You're not going to have. In this league, you're not going to have 10 possessions and score on all 10. Sometimes maybe, it's very rare, but you want to be able to go out there with the idea that regardless of what happens, get ready to make that push to play your best ball as you move forward in the game.
You obviously knew of Amari before he came here, but has there been anything since he's been here in practice or in a game where it kind of opened your eyes? You're like, wow, like anything he's done?
He's just an exceptional athlete. He's got really. Big time speed, but he's really quick. I don't know if I remember that, that in and out of the cut stuff as much. I remember watching him, as you prepare for the draft. I knew he was going to probably be drafted early in the draft when he was coming out, and watching him in college. Just a real electric player. Has a kind of a smooth game to him, but when he wants to turn it on, he really has a really good combination of speed and quickness. So those are really good assets to have as a wide receiver.
How good is his release off the line? Have you ever seen what he's talked about? His release is pretty good.
I think his releases are outstanding. He, like everybody else, you can keep working on them and get better at them. But he has that combination of the ability to get behind somebody quick, so the threat of that helps your release. I think guys technically will play guys like that a little bit different if they are concerned about him getting on top of them really fast. So I think that definitely helps. It's one of the things he possesses that gives him an advantage, I think, a lot of times.
The way Dakins played and performed and produced on Sunday, is that reminiscent of 2016?
Yeah, I think in a lot of ways. We've had spurts where it's been good too. So we just want to get into a consistent role. That's our goal, to play consistent football, winning football, not just them, that whole group, and see where that takes us.
The Seal Field will go this week.
We make the decision on our guys Saturday morning officially. He's been working. He's been working with that group. So as we're getting Connor ready, to get back to 100%, we'll see where that is tomorrow, and then we make that decision on Saturday morning.
After Dak's second quarter sack there at the end of the half, did you see him just become a different, this switch from that point on for the rest of the game?
Yeah, I think he just kept playing and made really good adjustments as we went through it. See how they were, how they were guarding and how they were rushing, because sometimes you can get tricked into moving the direction they want you to go, and I think he did a really good job of adjusting and not getting concerned about them, more concerned about what he was doing, and I thought he played real well.
From the Atlanta game, when he gets sacked that many times, have you seen does eye level drop for a quarterback, and you can't trust in front of you?
I don't know. I think it was an outlier game that way. I don't think Dak's a guy that gets his eyes get to where he's looking at that. I think if you're getting kind of a rare amount of them in one half like we did, that certainly didn't affect him in an adverse way in the game. But generally speaking, I think he shrugs that stuff off pretty quick.
So you don't think he's had less trust in the pocket since then? The Atlanta game affected him psychologically.
No, I wouldn't say that. I mean, I think
the numbers suggested.
Yeah, I mean, you could maybe argue that, but I don't think so. I don't notice a different approach. Not really, to be honest.